Thank you, Betty. I hope you all know how blessed you are to have Betty with us.
Oh, yeah.
She is a blessing, true angel
Yep.
on this earth. Yes, I'm into plants. I've got hostas, daylilies. Oh, what else?
Orchids.
Orchids. I've been growing orchids for 52 years now.
Wow.
I started when I was 14 years old. And I became an American Orchid Society judge and traveled many places in Central and South America judging orchid shows. So it's led me on a good path. That's what took me to Florida, led me to these metaphysical teachings again, and really brought me home to where I am, where my higher presence is. But yes, it is springtime. And actually, I used to have about 40 roses. So I can relate to roses. But unfortunately, when I moved the last time, they had to stay behind. But it's spring. How many of you are actively getting in your gardens ready for gardening season? It takes a lot of work, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
You have to pull those weeds, cultivate the soil, dig it up, get it all nice and friable, ready to grow. Then you nourish it with compost or fertilizer, whatever it is you want to use. You plant your seeds, your plants, your flowers, whatever it is that you're growing. I do mostly flowers, because that's always been my passion. But let's begin by comparing gardening to cultivating our better selves for ourselves. Because we have an inner garden, which we need to tend to and keep working on, nourishing it, feeding it, cultivating it. That's what makes us grow. The more one works in your garden, the more you get out of it. The same goes for spirituality. The more you work at it, or just let it come naturally, because it will, but you put into practice meditation, prayer, self-study, coming to a church like this, where you can learn so much from so many, not just the preachers here, but by every single individual in this room, you can learn. And that's the way to cultivate yourselves and others. And when we look at our personal lives, we find those foundations there that we must cultivate. What do you cultivate? Do you look for happiness, love, joy, success, health, abundance? Do you do it in all you do? Do you cultivate it, create it, be happier, look for all the way love is expressed, and strive for success, look for joy, open yourself to finding abundance, and what brings you joy? Sometimes you have to look for what finds you joy. And when you find it, hold on to it, because that really enlivens you. It really makes you prosper in everything. How often do we find those for ourselves who are always finding something negative to complain about, criticize others, and they find this own negativity within their own lives? What they criticize is what they find in their own lives. And it's something they need to pay attention to. By your words, by your acts, it's a reflection of yourself. And sometimes these are our weeds. We must learn to root them out, our negative thinking, eliminate them, and replace with more positivity and beauty. As we progress, we choose to seek out that which brings us happiness, that love, that health, that abundance of prosperity. We find it within ourselves. Remember the saying, seek and you shall find, knock and the door shall open to you. This is the law of attraction. What do you choose? The universe strives to bring us what we concentrate on. As we seek, we need to be diligent and watch for the clues and signs the universe will bring us to help you. Help us attain our dreams. How often do we ignore or not even see the signs that the universe is trying to give to you? We look within sometimes, but sometimes we ask for God's help. Father, Mother, God, whatever you call it, in your own personal identity. But we ask for signs to show us where to go, how to be. But then when the universe produces those signs for us, sometimes we don't see them because we're so caught up in our own stuff. When we let that stuff go, we see those signs. And if we follow those signs that are always presented to you, then you'll find your true self, your true happiness, your true love. Do you dream journal? Do you meditate? Do you vision quest? And remember, people may come into our lives to help us, or they may come into our lives to teach us a lesson of what to let go of. How often does that happen? You find somebody, oh my gosh, what did I do to them? Well, they're there to teach you a lesson. And it's unfortunate, but our greatest lessons sometimes are the hardest ones. And once we get over the fact that it's me, it's a reflection of a lesson that I need to learn. It becomes so much easier. As you seek within, you find from without quite often. The things are presented to you to help you grow, to help you prosper. When you meditate, do you talk to Spirit constantly? Chatter, chatter, chatter? And then forget to listen? Or actively seek to listen to and find the answers to your questions. Present the question of what you want to know something about. Then go into the silence, however that works for you. Some people have a walking meditation. They can meditate while they're walking. I was told once by a psychic medium, you don't meditate, do you? I said, no. I said, you don't have to, because you're a walking meditation. And when you see the love around you all the time, you see nature in its beauty, you are in a meditation, because you're ready to listen, ready to learn from everything that's being presented to you. And the same thing can be said for automatic writing, channeling. Go into it with a question, but then sit still quietly and listen, write, speak it to a tape recorder, if anybody has those anymore. Whichever method works best for you. And if you don't know what works best for you, experiment. Find the one that works best for you. All these are ways to cultivate the mind and seek higher guidance. The main thing is to take some form of action. We have to go water a garden. We have to weed it. Same thing goes with the mind. We have to weed it. Get rid of that which that is not helping us, not serving us. The garden doesn't grow on our own, and neither do we. We need to seek the guidance. We need to seek our inner self, a higher self. We each have a higher self, which is our connectedness with the God source. Ask for it to overlight you, to come down each morning as you awake. Ask for this inner guidance to come and flow over you. And then thank it. Always have gratitude for what's being presented to you. For what you thank, what you find something of gratitude, more comes to you. Again, that's the law of attraction. It's wisely been said that things may happen around you, may happen to you, but the things that matter the most are the things that happen within and through you. Be positive and loving. That last part. So trust yourself. Learn to love. See the love in others. Everyone. Remember, you have the God spark within you, and so does everybody else. We all share that commonality. Even the plants have the God source within them. It makes them grow, it makes them flower. It brings love and light into the world as they grow and try to reproduce. We grow, some of us reproduce, some of us don't. But in our own way, we do reproduce. I give birth to my flowers. I give birth to the beauty around me. I inherited my father's house 2 years ago. The difference between now and then is amazing. I have 15 Japanese maple trees in my front yard now. Magnolias, camellias, everything. Because that's what brings me passion. I find passion in that growing. It serves me. It makes me cultivate my own inner self. So I say to you today, find that which brings you love and peace and cultivate it. Thank you.